Hey folks, I had a great conversation with a woman named Karen Cooper yesterday and wanted to take the opportunity to share it with you because it has honestly shifted my way of thought. And the subject of this talk was on the superpower of the ability to forget. We humans are blessed with the fact that we don't remember everything in the way that we had initially experienced it. And I'm going to use my wife as an example. Sarah is my world, and she is any day now going to be giving birth to my daughter, my first biological child. Now, this will be her second child, so she's been doing her best to prepare me for the things that I can expect when it comes to the birthing process. She has talked about things tearing that probably shouldn't tear. She's talked about a squirt bottle that she's going to have to use in order to assist her going to the bathroom for the next several weeks because, again, that tear. She's talked about solids and semi-solids getting in places where they shouldn't be. And then, of course, the whole if it's a C-section, look, my insides are going to be on my outsides. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So here's the thing. My stepson, Jeremy, he's 3 years old. This dude is my world. I love my stepson. For the life of me, I can't understand why Sarah would want to experience childbirth again, given the stories that she shared with me. I mean, I remember back in high school, we had to watch that birthing video, and oh my God, it still traumatizes me. That's the beautiful thing, though. Despite all the pain and the trauma, Sarah mainly remembers the opportunity to hold her child in her arms for the first time and knows that, hey, despite all this pain, it's worth it in the end. She's also forgotten the agony of literally tearing her body in half to bring forth life into this world. On a more dramatic note, injuries. Folks, we've all hurt ourselves. Broken bones, cuts, tears. I know guys who've been shot. I know guys who lost limbs. I personally woke up on an operating table with things inside me that weren't there when I went to sleep. We have a habit of not remembering the exact details of what those things felt like. I mean, sure, we know that, oh my God, when I broke my leg that one time, it was painful and it was terrible. And I screamed and yelled and I tried to look brave, but we don't remember exactly how it felt in that situation, and that is a beautiful thing. Breakups, we've all had them. You put so much of your effort into somebody, and then something happens, and you just go downhill. I'm talking dark thoughts. No one's ever gonna love me again. Crying, curling up in a ball, trying to wear black because we pretend to be emo, and you get kicked out of the group because the other emos think you're too cheery. Things like that. Totally not self-experience at all. We remember being sad, but we don't remember the horrible thoughts associated with that sadness because we look on the brighter side. We like the opportunity to go ahead and be with people. We like companionship, and therefore we try again. We have forgotten the traumas that have so struck us so horribly. Karen had an interesting idea, and she's like, well, a lot of the issue with mental illness nowadays revolves around things that people cannot forget. And that really hit me. I met a woman a few years ago, and she had survived a rather horrible experience. She was abused by a male figure who, nope. Anyway, she struggles with the idea of establishing any type of lasting relationship with the male. Not just intimate relationships, friendships even, because whenever she gets in proximity of another man, she can't help but to remember those horrible feelings associated with her trauma. She can't forget what had happened to her, and that is impacting her ability to live her daily life. Men and women with PTSD experience the same things. They're going on through their lives, and then all of a sudden their brain kicks on, and it's like, I'm going to put you in the exact same frame of mind that you were in when you watched your best friend get riddled full of holes when an IED exploded under your Humvee. Vivid. And they are stuck in these memories and they suffer for it because most people, we carry on with what we're doing. We forget those horrible things because they're gone. But there are some folks out there who can't forget. And that's astounding to think on, like just something so similar as something so significant as memory. So it's at this point that we started talking about ways to move forward. And there's therapy and all sorts of stuff like this. But one of the most common trends with therapists that I've talked to is the ability to forgive and forget. I'm going to level with you. And I'm going to talk about something that I haven't really talked about before. My divorce. I was with my ex-wife for a very long time, and our relationship had been falling apart. And I found out that she had, we're going to say that there were other parties brought into the relationship that had no business being there, and I was devastated by it. I fully admit I was not the best husband, but I took my vows seriously when I said there's going to be no other but you, and it wrecked me for a while. The idea of dating again was I thought I found my person. I had trouble trusting people again because I thought I would remember the instances where I would trust this woman and she let me down, and that put a block on a lot of my relationships moving forward. And it eventually got to the point I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, why are you holding on to this? And I did some thoughts, and I was like, I genuinely don't know why I'm holding on to these negative thoughts. That I haven't talked to my ex since the divorce court, where we are totally done. But I'm still letting her have an impact on my life. And I got to thinking, I was like, I genuinely don't know why I'm still hanging on to this. And she was like, I don't either. So it took me a little bit. I found it within myself to move on. Personally, I don't know if I could forgive that woman for what she did. I haven't put a lot of thought into that, if that's a reality, because she's definitely gone from my life. I'm happy that she did what she did, because in doing so, I found the woman I am truly meant to be with, and my life is so much better because I took the time to improve upon myself, but still letting go. And I did. I let go of the anger and the betrayal that I felt towards this individual, and my life got simpler. I found that it was easier for me to connect with people. I found that my relationships were stronger, and I could hold myself up higher because I didn't have that weight on my shoulders. I'm not going out there and telling you, you need to forgive everybody that does wrong against you. But I would challenge you to take a moment and weigh reality for a moment. Weigh the costs to you and those who matter to you of holding on to those negative emotions, holding on to that trauma, and understanding that, hey, it is costing you and those people around you. Is that cost greater than, are you gaining something from holding on to this trauma? Is it making you a stronger person? Sometimes holding on to trauma is good because it gives you a survival skill that you need to survive a specific situation. But is that skill necessary in this moment? Is it worth the cost to you and those around you? Sometimes it might be good to forget. And moving forward, you could remember that horrible trauma that had torn you up. And you remember it, and you remember there was a bad time. But that's pretty much it. You move on, and life got better. And for those of you who struggle to find the ability, the capability to forget, to forgive, speak to someone. You're not alone. This world is filled with people who are suffering through the same kinds of things. We've got your back. Heck, reach out to me. I'm happy to chat with you. But anyway, this is my thought on the matter, and I would be kicking myself if I didn't put this down for posterity. And heck, maybe even baby Sarah is gonna look through this one day and be like, hey, my dad was pretty crazy. But peace, y'all. I'll chat to you soon.